How's it going, everyone? Today we have Reagan Rust on with us. Reagan is from Mississippi in the United States. She's 24 years old. She was recently in Budapest, but had to come back due to the COVID situation. She's a former RIT University and Boston University alum, and she's also played for the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite 14U in the past. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So Regan, if you want to share some experiences from your hockey journey to educate the players, parents, and coaches.
Oh my goodness. The stories are kind of endless. Well, I grew up in Mississippi, and so with that comes a lot of trial and error, one, and two, not having like any direction or because nobody really played where I was from, Mississippi. So I grew up with only skating boys. It was me, my sister, one other girl whenever they started their rec program when I was 5. And they're like, oh, come out. There's going to be so many girls, so many. And we're like, all right, sure, sounds good. But like back in the day, I was just doing whatever my sister did because like I always looked up to her and I just wanted to be around her as much as possible. And so we showed up and like I said, it was just me, her, one other girl, and then probably 30 little boys. And we were learning to skate and like they're teaching us about hockey. And like I had grown up watching their pro team there, but little did I know you needed a lot more ice time than what was given to us because we had that one rink, like I was telling you before, and we shared it with everyone in the entire city. Like there was graduations there was conventions, there were professional hockey games, there were beer league, there was oh my goodness, like every kind of sport you can imagine in there, like even basketball would show up. And so we had little to no ice time ever. And so that's why we traveled so much. And there was another little girl, she was one of my best friends, and she ended up playing in college, D3. And we we played I think from 6th grade on, and we were traveling to Nashville, which was 3 hours away. We were playing with our boys team, like every single weekend we were gone. And I think it goes to show that it didn't really matter that we were coming from Mississippi. Like we always showed up at the games and everyone, like no one knew that we were from the South. They were just like, wow, these girls like actually have something going on. And like, I think we had like some type of twin telepathy, even though we weren't actually sisters. I think it's because we were Filipino. Um, but it definitely helped us out. And so we traveled all around the country, and like our goal, even when we were, I'd say in like 5th grade, 4th grade, whatever, that was to play in college. And we did probably whatever it took to get there. And so like I'm super grateful for that journey along with her because I don't know if I would have been able to do that by myself. I think our parents are crazy. Um, they definitely have to be a little bit crazy to do what we did because we were traveling, like I said, every weekend, and like those trips weren't short at all. Like we were leaving Thursdays, missing so much school, and not that I recommend missing school, but like we were able to keep up with all of that homework and whatnot. And like our teachers were super understanding. And um, we were, I think our trip to Pittsburgh was 12 hours there, 12 hours back. We were making that every other weekend. Detroit, 12 hours there, 12 hours back. Nashville, the 3 hours. St. Louis with our boys teams, like all over the country just to play. And I don't know. I feel like that just goes to show how much we cared about hockey, even though we didn't come from a hockey town.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. It's obviously extreme commitment. Over my own journey, I've heard of a lot of friends that have traveled just like say 3 hours for practice and just like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, kind of some travel teams and the 12-hour trips like your time was, that's not an easy commitment. You're either kind of all in or you're probably not doing it all. And what's also great is that you knew at such a young age of what you wanted to do. I can relate to that as well. When I was really young, you mentioned 4th or 5th grade. Do you remember like what kind of triggered that, or like what developed your love for hockey and what you wanted to do with not many rinks in town and not hockey?
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like, why did I want to play college hockey? I have no idea. I was one of those kids that loved playing practically every single sport out there. Like in high school, I played 5 sports, and nothing clicked like the hockey community. And I liked how tight knit it was. And all the boys that I played with and all the parents, they were like so accepting of me and my other friend who was a girl. And I think I just liked having that family outside of like everything else. And like anytime I stepped on the ice, it was no matter what was going on in my life, that was home. No matter where I was in the world, it was home. And like the rink was just like my favorite place to be. And so I think it was in fifth grade when my uncle and we sat down. It was actually my brother was getting married and we were at their wedding in somewhere in Florida. And he was like, all right, let's write down your 10-year plan. I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I had like, I want to play hockey at Harvard and I want to go to a really good prep school and I want to be a brain surgeon and all this stuff. And didn't do any of those things, but like I was very close to what I said I was going to do. Like I work now with like psychology and mental performance and stuff like that. I studied marketing, which is like psychology of business. And then I went to BU and we beat Harvard. So I guess at the end of the day, I was pretty close to what I wanted.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you own your own company right now, is that your mental
Yes.
performance company? Yeah. Okay, we can chat
Um,
at closer to the end, but that's definitely something that these players and athletes should whether they think about or be aware of for sure. Uh,
mhm.
so with the one rink in Mississippi, like what can you explain what that looked like to some of the viewers that haven't been to Mississippi or haven't had one rink in the, well, whether it be the state or the city?
Mhm. Yeah, I think, well, there was only one rink for us. And I think there may have been one in Biloxi, Mississippi, which is like the very bottom, or maybe Jackson, but like it just kept closing down because there just wasn't enough people interested in the sport. Um, and then I remember some of the guys on the team, like their parents were like, okay, like we need to make a rink for these kids. And so they pulled together sponsors and resources and everything like that. And they found a place in Olive Branch, Mississippi, which was probably still like 45 minutes from where I was living. But I was like, yes, I finally get a rink to myself. And we shared that with like figure skaters and whatnot. But it was basically in like this kind of industrial park with a lot of warehouses. So they just converted an old warehouse into a hockey rink. It was actually super nice. Like everyone had their birthday parties there and yeah, we loved it. It's still going. So I'm really happy to see that.
All right. Yeah, no, that's it's funny what you say about, I guess, birthday parties, graduations out there. I can imagine. I know what public skating looks like, and it's a circus out there. It's everyone just skating
Yeah.
all over the place. You're supposed to be skating the same way, but obviously kids having fun, they're going the opposite ways, and it's just
Hmm.
havoc out there. Pretty funny.
Imagine cosmic skates. That's what they did at night. Like they just turned all the lights off and had disco lights on.
Yeah,
Dangerous, but it's all right.
right.